Hello, we are back. It is episode 3 of Colonies Builder Spotlight. I am very, very happy to have John and Erin from ELI5 back again. Hello, guys. How are you today?
Aloha.
Doing great. How are you?
Yeah, so John is actually phoning in from Hawaii.
Yeah.
He's on holiday. Thank you, John, for joining us. Appreciate seeing it. Oh, nice. Okay, awesome, guys. Yeah. So anyone watching this for the first time, this is Builder Spotlight. Essentially, we follow the journey of DAO builders building a DAO from scratch. We started back in November with ELI5. You guys practically started a DAO from nothing, and here we are a few months later, and there's just so much going on. If you really want to go and check out the full journey, go and watch episode 1 and episode 2. This is episode 3, and we're going to be covering everything that's happened up until today. Cool. I am super excited to get started. Let's jump in. First of all, so Erin, let me ask you. The last time we spoke, you were still busy with Epoch 1 testing Colony. Epoch 1 is now done. How did it go? How was that first Epoch?
Yeah, I would say for the first run through, it went relatively smoothly. We has concluded all of the reviews. So our end products are posted on the list of DAO tools, which is really neat. Yeah, they're available for public consumption. All payments have been made, and yeah, we have our wrap-up meeting with your team today. So it went really well, and we're super happy with how things progressed.
Excellent. Yeah, wonderful. Actually, I think if you go to ELI5 DAO, let me share my screen, Matt. Yeah, so if you go to ELI5DAO.com, this is the main home web page, and you can see here when I scroll down, click here to read the review. So ELI5, I love the little badge, ELI5 DAO tested. This is probably going to become like a solid accreditation badge in the future. If you've got this badge, it shows that you've been put through some rigorous testing. But essentially, if you click on this, we're going to come to the testing in progress ones in a minute. But if you click on the Colony one, it takes you to the Decentralist. Let me share this tab. There we go. The Decentralist.com website, and then here you can see the full reviews. You've got a video overview at the top. You've got all of the ratings over here. There's a slightly more detailed video review, and then 10 independent reviews by all of the contributors of the DAO who were ultimately participating in Epoch 1. And when you click down, you can sort of see, very nice, comprehensive. What I like about it, how can it be improved? So this is not just it's not just a one-line Google review. You know, people really have to put in the time and the effort to go through it and give their honest feedback. I'm really happy to see that Colony scored a 3.9, and this is based on the fact that we're actually doing a complete UX UI overall. So you're sort of reviewing this at the perfect time because we're doing a lot of work to build up the Colony DApp from scratch, and we actually have a call with our product team and you guys and ELI5 DAO just after this one to look at these reviews and speak to your contributors and you guys directly to incorporate all of this feedback so that we can make the next version, the Colony 2.0 version, absolutely amazing. So I'm very, very happy that you guys did all this work because we can just directly use all of this feedback. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I'll say the way you guys are utilizing the information is exactly what we're envisioning. Like, we want to meet with the teams. We want you guys to look at it as a positive. And you'll actually see in a lot of the reviews, people are anticipating the release because we all knew it's going to be coming. So we're I know in my own review, I was like, I can't wait for the next version of this, this application. So yeah, I think it's only up from here, right? I mean, it's a 4 out of 10, 4 out of 5. That's pretty good.
Absolutely, no, definitely. Yeah, and we're looking to get that five-star review if you test us again at the end of this year. But I just think it's been super helpful to read through all of these reviews to really see what it is that we can do to improve the product directly from the users. establishing those connections and relationship with you guys so that we can hear from you directly, which is amazing. Right. Okay. So that's Colony. I wanted to, so in terms of the payments, your contributors who did all of the work, you ended up paying them. If we scroll down, you can see here that all of the payments have been made to all of the 10 reviewers in stablecoin, and also the equivalent number of ELI5 tokens, so that they can gain reputation in the DAO. There's a massive list of everyone that's been paid. Obviously, this is totally public. So if you guys go to xdai.colin.io/colony/ELI5, you can go and see a look at all of these transactions. You can see here there are 12 contributors currently in the DAO who have reputation. And I also see that there are 14 watchers. I'm assuming these 14 watchers are sort of the ones who are participating in Epoch 2 and 3 at the moment. They're just waiting to get paid to earn reputation. Is that right?
Yeah, they're people that are coming in for Epoch 2, or maybe just people that are just interested and want to see what we're doing, just kind of sitting on the sidelines to see.
Cool.
But yeah, we're excited because there's a couple of those watchers that are definitely coming in and going to earn reputation here after we finish the second Epoch.
Yeah, fantastic to see. The last time we spoke, you hadn't paid your contributors yet because the work wasn't done. So you had sort of, I think it was really just the 3 founding members of ELI5 who were part of the DAO, and now you're up to 12 contributors with loads more watchers in the waiting room waiting to join the DAO officially and earn some reputation, which is awesome to see, guys. Right. So tell me a little bit more about the other 2 tools. You are testing Samudai and Common Ground. So how has this come about? Because you're testing 2 tools at the same time, so you're running 2 epochs. This is quite interesting. I wasn't expecting. I don't think you were planning on doing 2 epochs simultaneously. But tell me a little bit more about what's happening right now.
Sure, yeah. So Samudai is Epoch 2, and it actually wraps up here at the end of this month, which happens to be tomorrow. So when the Samudai team gave us a grant, and part of that grant was used to test their brand new DAO platform. And when we were going through the initial discussions with that team, they didn't want to wait to get the testing done because they're in their beta and they want the information. So we agreed to push it up to overlap with for a January 1 start date. So we overlapped with the last month of the first epoch. And then the epoch only lasted 2 months, which was a little bit different because they wanted it to be fast tracked a little bit, and the DAO agreed. And we said, let's try this. So it was a 2-month epoch from January 1 through the end of February. So we're just wrapping that up. It went really well. Again, their product is really pretty cool. It's kind of like they're trying to build like an all-in-one dashboard for your DAO where you can connect different dApps and websites, so you can kind of see everything together, which is pretty neat, and in real time. So there's like a snapshot integration, Google Calendar, a bunch of other things, that Twitter, like you can connect your safe, all kinds of things. So pretty neat. We'll be having those reviews out shortly. Things are a little bit crazy because of ETH Denver, so they'll be getting posted a little bit later, not exactly tomorrow, but we're actually going to be seeing their team at ETH Denver and on a panel discussion with them about DAO tools. So pretty neat. But yeah, it's been going really well. I'll let John speak to Common Ground.
Yeah, so the Common Ground team kind of saw what we were doing, and they were just super excited. So for those maybe who don't know what Common Ground is, they're almost like a Discord disruptor. So super interesting to see what they're doing over there. It's also like a very clean product. A couple of our members are like super excited to get into the platform, and there's a couple DAOs on the Common Ground application too. So it's just really cool to see. I think we're in week 2 of their challenges. So next week we'll have this coming week we'll have an off week just because of ETH Denver. But super excited to get all the challenges in there. And we don't have challenges in our Discord per se this time. All the challenges are actually on Common Ground. So just kind of getting back into using that application. So
fantastic. And how long is this epoch going to last? When can people expect the reviews for Common Ground to be live?
So we're doing actually a 3-month, going back to our normal 3-month epoch. So
I'm assuming all of the bounties have been filled. Like as soon as they became available, they got taken up, right?
So Aaron and I actually didn't take a bounty because we want to let more L1 members. So I think there's only like 2 or 3 left. There might be like for videos, but you know, we intentionally kind of left that open so more members can have you know, the dibs to the I guess to those bounties. But I think there's only like 2 or 3 left.
And in terms of people wanting to work their way from level 1 to level 2, are you seeing a lot of the contributors sticking around and wanting to carry on into the 2nd and the 3rd epoch? Is that happening?
So yeah, we have a good core group. I think we have 4 or 5 L2s now. So after that first epoch for Colony, they self-nominated on Colony to become an L2, and the motions passed. Anyway, not everybody decided to move forward, and that's okay. It brought to light that the nature of the way we set things up kind of allows for that. You can kind of dip in and out as you see fit. But we are anticipating after the 2nd epoch finishes to have additional L2s, you know, self-nominate and go through that process. And then at the end of epoch 3, the L2s who participated in all 3 epochs can become L3s. So yeah, there's still a lot of exciting progress coming along. And I anticipate, you know, as we continue to grow, that hopefully we'll continue to progress to help decentralize, you know, John and mine's reputation even more.
I'm just interested to know, based on Epoch 1, what did you have to make any improvements or changes based on that, and to say, hey, we need to make something more efficient, internal processes, governance? Is there anything that you've had to change up because of your learnings over the past few months?
Yeah, for sure. There were kind of a couple little changes that we saw along the way. So in Discord, we were just talking about Colony kind of in one big channel, and it kind of got overwhelming because we were throwing in all of the bugs we were finding and kind of issues that we saw, or maybe just improvements, you know, that we would like to see. We were throwing them all in one channel, and then when somebody new came in, you know, it was hard for them to see what was already pinned or posted. So we actually made like a parking lot, and then we integrated like a form so people could submit, you know, some kind of improvement that they saw or suggestion, and then we started to track those that way. And I think for Samudai, we incorporated that into like the next phase. So that was one big thing. And then also kind of along the same lines, when somebody new joined in, they were kind of getting overwhelmed because we were having these conversations. So you jump right into the middle of the conversation, and that's the issue with Discord right now. So we actually integrated this tool called Yerba. And it's almost like a quest that you go to learn about our DAO. So we have a quest channel in there so people can come in, kind of learn about ELI5, and then jump into the channels. And then something cool Aaron did too was separate the challenges into weekly, you know, kind of challenges, so you can just see the discussions on those weekly challenges.
So it just provides a little bit more context for anyone new joining the DAO to understand what's going on, what do I need to know, like, you know, and what are the next steps to actually get involved.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it gives them not only like a tour of Discord, but it also points them to our Trendverse page and all the necessary channels. So if you enter to like funnel into our DAO through Discord, you're not kind of stuck and lost on where to go next. On Trendverse, we were able to have like a guide of like, check this out, check that out. But on Discord, there's not as easy of a way to do that. Plus, it's just overwhelming when there's a million channels to go through. So I think, you know, our workflow in terms of communication has gotten a little bit better. We've also modified some of the bounties, just going through the work and recognizing, you know, where the most effort has been put forth. So yeah, I anticipate we'll have more of those kinds of things. There's been discussion about, you know, the different bounties, and now that we have more contributors, some feedback on that. So I am expecting more changes in the future for sure. I'm
sure that as you get more feedback from your own contributors, you know, you have these weekly community calls where you're speaking directly to all of your community members, and there's specific direct channels for everyone to give feedback. So I'm sure it's just going to get better and better and better and more streamlined over time, which is awesome to see. Okay, so I want to jump into some of the key decisions. I want to look at some of the key governance decisions. I can see quite a few people who have nominated themselves to become L2 contributor. Did someone have to sort of put forward a proposal before they went on to create this decision on chain? Or was it just a case of, actually, I think I'm good enough, and the proposal is part of the decision itself? For instance, if I click on L2 self-nomination, is this sort of the proposal itself, or did someone have to get vetted before actually going on and creating this on chain?
I think the vetting was actually participating in the first Epoch. So they earned reputation, and they used that. Then they use that reputation to say, hey, this, I think what he wrote in here was he's gained enough experience through testing that they want to go to the second level. So it's kind of like a natural progression. We did mention in the Discord, like, hey, if you want to go for the additional bounties at L2 for the next Epoch, you're going to want to nominate yourself. So that was pretty much it. We just kind of kept it very simple.
Nice and lean. You'd actually made some DAO decisions previously, and subsequently made some edits to them. So the first one is this amendment to DAO decision number 10. Actually, let me click into this, and you can tell us a little bit more about this. Maybe John.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm just like looking at what this one is. Okay, this is an interesting conversation. I actually think that there's going to be a talk on wrappers in ETH Denver, which is super interesting. So we had originally proposed to wrap the DAO, wrap, and I say that like kind of figuratively, but wrap the DAO in an entity type. So, for people starting DAOs, this was one thing that we ran into that, maybe we weren't necessarily thinking about. Some of those questions for me, like, do you incorporate your DAO? Do you not incorporate your DAO? And one of the kind of first thoughts we had was to wrap this in like a legal entity, an LLC. But, we've done a lot of, actually, we have a channel called ELI5 DAO Legal, which is just massive. We have all of these, these references, and we've gone through conversations, and we had put a proposal up to become an LLC, but we switched that proposal to actually become an unincorporated nonprofit association. It's called an UNA. And maybe those in the DAO space will be familiar that like Nouns DAO is looking at this. The A16 crypto also wrote I think 2 articles on it, which are like the go-to articles for reference. So I think this one is just, this decision number 10 is just changing that to a UNA versus an LLC. And we threw it up here to make sure that people could, that they agree on it. This one did have a discussion before in our Discord. We put it in our proposal area and then just like an idea area. So it's been going back and forth. So we actually did do this. We have an UNA NFT that was minted to the DAO's wallet, and it's actually in our Colony wallet, just sitting there essentially saying, we are this UNA entity. That was this decision, and we have it on chain. So.
Oh, okay, fantastic. Okay, I would like to sort of just dig into this a little bit more. So the practical side of this, like how did you get the NFT minted and wrapped? Like, did you have to go to a third party? Like, I'm assuming you didn't just do it yourself.
Yeah, so we used another tool called wrapper.wtf, and they're closely affiliated with LexDAO and Kali.gg. So some people may be familiar with KaliDAO, but they created this product that you can choose a legal wrapper or entity that you want to become, or that your DAO wants to become, and then it's like $25 you pay for it, and then you can mint that wrapper, and essentially they give you the documents of the legal entity with all of your stuff that you kind of fill in, and then it gets minted onto your wallet. So what we did is we purchased an UNA wrapper, and then that sent it to the DAO, and then we sent it to the DAO's wallet. So where most of our transactions are going to be going to or coming from.
Right. Okay. So actually, it seems quite simple. Like, I'm assuming that in the traditional Web2 space, it wouldn't be as easy as just minting an NFT. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is what gets me excited about this space. You can mint almost like minting an organization type and you're getting your documents there, you
Mm.
still have to fill out the paperwork on, for your federal and state side. If you're in the US, there's still paperwork on that end, but it was just super simple. And $25 is very reasonable for setting up an organization. So that's what gets me excited about the Web3 space, that efficiencies, and it's just going to help a lot of people, hopefully achieve their dreams in whatever DAO mission that they're in. So.
Absolutely. This is fascinating. Awesome. That's super interesting. Yeah. So the other one is the cancellation of DAO Decision 5. So being totally transparent, this is on YouTube, and obviously your DAO is on chain. There's nothing to hide. So I think it's just worth mentioning that one of the core contributors or co-founders has left, and I want to just talk about this to see how you thought about the process of a core contributor leaving.
Sure, yeah. So unfortunately, our third founder, who you guys never got to meet, but he was running into some personal health issues and had to step away from the space totally. So we were sad to see that happen, but he let us know, and we had to have some discussions because there were some decisions like this one that we decided on before the DAO really came in to be. Essentially, he stepped away, and then as the DAO, we decided to smite his reputation since he wasn't going to be participating, and then remove his permissions in Colony. And then additionally, speaking to the cancellation of decision number 5. So when we first were getting the DAO going, the three of us had decided we were going to pay ourselves back, in quotes, for the work that we had put in to get things going with all of our documentation. And we did a lot of, we probably met weekly or bi-weekly for 2 to 3 months before launching in November. So there was a lot of time and effort put into that process. And we're like, once we, get some money, we should totally parish this back for these contributions. As we've gone going, we're just really loving what we're trying to do. And we feel like that money could be better spent, staying in the DAO for testing or for other things like our legal rabbit hole. We've decided to cancel that and leave the funds in the DAO to do whatever, the DAO sees fit. So that's how that came to be. We did have discussions on all of these things, including, Barry's departure and canceling the payment with the other DAO members in our Discord. And the other thing that with the cancellation of the payment, we had originally said, we propose to smite our reputation attached to that. In the beginning of the DAO, in order to give ourselves the three founders reputation, we minted 1,500 ELI5 tokens and gave them to ourselves. And that's what established our reputation. And then that payment was going to come later once we had the funds. So we originally, John and I, proposed to smite the reputation that came with that and the payment. And we actually got pushback from our community on that of like, hey, you guys should keep the reputation. And then, if you don't want the funds, just cancel the funds. So that's what we ended up doing.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic that your community have gone and said, actually, your decision to smite your own reputation is wrong. You should keep the reputation for the work that you had done up front. And when you bootstrap your reputation initially to get the DAO going, that you should keep that reputation. So I think that is just fantastic. I imagine that in many other DAOs, these discussions will just happen in back channels and nothing will be public and no one can learn from it, which is just great to see that you guys are openly sharing this and putting it on chain and saying, well, this is the reasoning and this is what we were going to do and this is what we're going to do now. And literally anyone in the world can see how you think about these things. So kudos to you for operating in such a transparent and visible fashion. Let's talk about your decision to adopt a Gnosis or a safe multi-sig for miscellaneous assets. So tell me a little bit about this particular decision.
So this actually came to be twofold. When we were testing Samudai, they have the safe integration and we didn't have a safe. And we wanted to test that feature. So we decided to create one for that purpose. But then additionally, one of our amazing L2s had a custom chippy created for the DAO to be our mascot. And this is like the fun side of the DAO stuff. So it was funny because we were talking about how we were like a cross between a turtle and a sloth. We're like slow and steady, you know, we're building this thing from the ground up. We're taking our time, but we're going to get there. So we had a custom Chippy created. Shout out to Pritchie. Chippy is his brainchild, and he created a cross between a sloth and a turtle Chippy. And we needed somewhere to house that Chippy. So we decided, because Chippies live on the Ethereum mainnet, so we couldn't put it in the DAO's wallet on Gnosis. So we had to, we put the Chippy in our safe multi-sig wallet that is on Ethereum.
Oh, okay, I see. So fantastic. So this particular entity lives on mainnet, and you can't have that in your treasury, your colony treasury, because that's on Gnosis chain. And again, you already had the safe, so now your NFT lives in there. Awesome. You even ran a Joke DAO contest to decide on the name, and the winning name was, tell us, John.
Oh my goodness, I have. Aaron, I think it was Aaron who put this up or somebody, but I think it's Slurtle McSlurtleface was the actual winner.
I totally put that in as a joke, and it ended up winning. So there you go.
Yeah, I can actually see it affectionately known as Slurty McSlurtleface. Which is the official name. Fantastic. That's really good to see. Okay, so yeah, the NFT is there. How have you gone about thinking about your multi-sig signers? Who is a signer of the multi-sig?
Yeah, so we went with I think it's L2 and above right now, but you know, we're super excited. It was kind of ironic because we saw they call in the announcement with the multi-sig. So I don't know if you were leading into that, but I'll stop there. But essentially, it's for us right now. It's just like L2 and above, and I think it's 5 out of 7 votes. I could have that wrong, but we have a minimum standard for people to you know, to prove a vote before something like this gets sent.
That's right, exactly. Yeah, so it is a brand new feature, just dropped a few days ago. It's Colony's a feature called Safe Control, and it allows you to essentially get rid of your multi-sig signers and just control the assets and the safe itself via your colony. So you're using reputation-based governance in your colony to actually create a motion, which will then pass if no one objects, or if someone objects, it goes to a vote, and then depending on the vote, it will either obviously be approved or not. But that entire governance process happens within your colony, and the outcome is then executed from the safe. So you're actually controlling all of your assets. Brand new feature, and something that I would love to see you guys test. It would be awesome to see how you think about moving assets in and out of your safe using this integration and this particular feature using reputation-based governance. So really, you don't need those multi-sig signers because you can just use your colony, and really excited to see how you guys use that. Fantastic. John, I think this one is for you. So I saw this on your Twitter account, a haiku. So tell us a little bit more about this. I'll put the tweet in the description because I think this is awesome. So John, tell us a little bit more about this. What is this?
Yeah, so we kind of mentioned this actually before. It's a good lead in. So I guess you know, L1 to L2 self-nominating. L3 actually has something different. So L3, we want you to participate in 3 epochs, and when you do that, you become an L3. That's the highest kind of status that we have right now in the DAO. And we made these things called challenge coins, and you'll see it in the hand over there. It's Slurty McSlurtleface on the one side, and then on the other is a numbered coin. I think we bought 50 of them, so everyone has its own distinct number, but this is kind of a thank you, I'm sorry, a mahalo to all of our L3 contributors for having put in the time and effort to complete 3 epochs. They'll get one of those coins, and essentially This is kind of like a military kind of thing, but they're called challenge coins. And you give this, the kind of myth behind it was you'd have a military award and it'd be kind of like a ribbon with a little medal hanging from it. And the story behind these is some people would cut off the ribbon or the metal piece and give it in a handshake to somebody else, and that was the challenge coin. Like, I'm rewarding you for doing this with my own personal ribbon or medal. And this is where this kind of came from my understanding. So we're playing a little game with this. So if somebody makes it to level 3 and you have your challenge coin, when you go to an IRL event, let's say like ETH Denver or something, you have to have your challenge coin in your pocket or something. And if Erin has their L3 and I have an L3 and I have mine in my pocket, and I go to Erin and I said, hey, I know you're an L3, and do you have your challenge coin with you? If she doesn't, she's going to have to buy a beverage of choice for myself. But just a little fun little IRL game that we have, and kind of a little thank you to the members who put in the time and the effort. So
I'm just blown away by the detail. Like, you can see on the back and the front, the actual coin itself is just fantastic. So kudos to you guys on that as well. And the number, will your number depend on the sequence that you actually become an L3?
Yeah, so it'll just be the sequence of whoever gets kind of the first L3 status. And then I do have to give a shout out to, I think SporkDAO did this for one of their events as well. And I think there's a couple other coins out there, but I got this kind of idea through, through seeing that. So it wasn't my idea originally, but we ELI5 did a little bit, and along the edge, I know you can't see it, but it also on the edge, the horizontal edge, it also has some engravings as well. So
I just want to very quickly talk about ETH Denver, because I believe you guys are going to be there. What are your plans for that week or the time that you're out there?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a good little group of ELI5ers that are going to be there, so we're super excited to meet some of our friends in real life. We do have a meetup scheduled on March 2nd at 4 o'clock at the Infinite Monkey Ethereum in the Rhino district. So, and that's, if you're seeing this and you want to come say hi, come on over. And then John and I are going to be repping ELI5 at the DAO Denver side event put on by DAO Planet. I'm going to be moderating a DAO Tool Talk panel, and John is on the panel. So that's on March 1st at 12 o'clock. Tickets are free to get in over there as well. But there may be limited capacity because I believe the space they're in is a little bit smaller. So we'll be doing that. And then the rest of the days, we're just going to be enjoying the main festival, going to some additional, side events and cocktail hours and things like that. So definitely look for us if you're there. We'll be repping both. So we'll have our ELI5 stuff, and then also you'll probably see us in our decentralist.com t-shirts walking around.
Yes, and of course, Colony will be there. So we're going to have quite a few of our team members out there. Unfortunately, I can't make it out there. I'm sure Colony and you guys will meet up. We'll arrange a gathering that we'll post on our Twitter. So anyone watching this now, if you want to meet the ELI5 team and you want to meet the Colony team, we'll post some details for a meetup that's going to happen. Okay, guys, that is all I've got for you. Is there anything from you, John? Have you got any other questions or comments?
No, I just really appreciate it. Hopefully, looking forward to the next couple months in our Epoch testing, and then I'm just gonna get some breakfast here. So yeah.
And John's got a hidden cocktail just next to him as well. I know. And Erin, anything from you?
No, I just really appreciated letting us share our journey. I'll give a little teaser and, something that maybe we can talk about next time. But ELI5 is pursuing 501c3 status here in the US. So really exciting. We don't have time to talk about it today, but stay tuned.
Very, very exciting. Okay, no, let's definitely keep that for next time when we've got lots of time to talk about that. Thank you so much. As always, it's been a pleasure. I love seeing this journey. And I'm now going to jump off this call and meet you in the ELI5 DAO server to talk about all of the reviews and see how we can make Colony even better. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I'll speak to you guys literally in 10 minutes. Okay.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye.